Hello and welcome to Digital Wood Carver. My name is Laney Shaughnessy, and in this video I am going to walk you through how to install the Planet-CNC TNG motion controller software. Now, if you're a new customer and you just purchased your Digital Wood Carver CNC unit, first off, congratulations. Now, your unit would have come with a flash drive, and located on that flash drive you will have your software setup files for the Planet-CNC TNG and other items. You will have the license key code for your Planet-CNC TNG software. And if you purchase the Vectric software, you will have the registration link and the license code for the Vectric software download, registration, and setup on the flash drive as well. We're going to be focusing on installing and setting up the Planet-CNC TNG motion controller software in this video. So let's go ahead and get started by installing the flash drive into your computer. Okay, so once you have the flash drive installed into the computer, then we're going to locate the software setup files folder. Now, your unit has a model number, DWC1824, DWC2440, DWC4848, or DWC5100. You're going to locate the folder with that unit name on your flash drive. And in my case, for this example, we have the DWC2440 setup files folder. Okay, so we want to go ahead and open up that folder. And what you will notice inside of that folder is that there are a lot of folders with a lot of different materials and things in there. Now we're going to be focusing on the Planet-CNC TNG V2 software files folder. That's where we're going to be working at. But just a quick glimpse as to what's in here. You will have some 3D carving samples, some V-carve carving samples that you can play around with. You'll have some profile cut samples. Basically what that is an outline of every state in the United States. It's vector file that you can import into the Vectric software for designing if you ever needed that. You will have the manuals for your machine, and not all machines have manuals, but there's a lot of manuals that are very helpful for installing certain items on those machines and everything. So going back to our setup files, we want to go into the Planet-CNC TNG V2 software files folder, and you will notice that there are 4 folders in that folder. So in there we will have Planet-CNC Win, and in this case we have 2023-104. Now this particular folder, the name of the folder may vary depending on the update or the future from when this video was created. So in this video at this current space and time right now, the folder's name is Planet-CNC Win 2023-14. Okay. That is our first folder that we want to open up. We will be going through each of these 4 folders one by one. And if you would like written instructions as well as this video to be able to print out or follow or whatever, there are written instructions here located in a PDF that will walk you through the same steps that we're going to be doing in this video. It will walk you through the instructions and everything step by step for installing the software. It's going to be the same as what you're getting in this video. So if you do prefer written instructions over video instructions, you can access that PDF there, and it will guide you through as well. All right, so we're going to start off in order. We're going to go one by one. So Planet-CNC Win 2023-14 in this case. We're going to open that folder up first, and then we're going to run the install folder that's located in there. So let's go ahead and double click on that to run it. Now, when you run it, you're going to get a Windows protected PC window. This is saying that it's an unrecognized app, so Windows has stopped it from loading. You're going to click on More Info, and you're going to click on Run Anyway. Once you click on Run Anyway, you're going to click Yes to confirm. It can allow it to make changes, and then it will open up the wizard, and we're going to go Next, Next, and Install. Once this installs, at the end of the installation, the program itself is going to open. And We're not ready for the program to open, so we're going to, when it opens, let's go ahead and click on the X in the top right corner to close the window. And then let's click on Finish on the wizard. And over in our File Explorer, we have a root directory across the top of the File Explorer that shows you where you're located. The last location in that root directory across the top is the folder that you're currently in. We are going to back up and click on the folder previous to that to get back to our 4 original folders. Now our next folder that we're going to enter into is the Planet-CNC driver folder. So let's open that up and let's double click on and run the driver. Again, we're going to get a Windows Protect the PC. We're going to click on More Info and Run Anyway. When the installer opens up, we're going to click Yes to allow it to make changes, and then we're going to click on Install. We're going to let it run through, and you are going to get a second install window. You're going to click Install a second time, and then you're going to click Finish when it completes. I did not get that second install window because I already have the driver installed on the computer, as you will not have. Okay, again, we're going to go back into our root directory at the top of the screen, and we're going to back up 1 folder. And our next folder is going to be the Profiles folder. Now, again, my sample says DWC 2440 Profile folder. You are going to have 1824, 2440, 4848, or 5100, depending on what CNC machine you have. So we're going to go into the Profile folder. We're going to open that up next. And you're going to notice there are 4 profile folders. What we want to do is we're going to hold down the Control key and hit the letter A to select all. We want to select all 4 of them. And then we're going to hold down the Control key and hit the letter C to copy that selection. And over on the left-hand side of our File Explorer, we're going to navigate to the C drive, Program Files, Planet-CNC, and inside the Planet-CNC folder, you're going to open up the Profile folder. Okay, once you're inside of the Profiles folder, you're going to see a default folder. Leave the default folder alone. We don't go in there. We're going to left-click our mouse anywhere in white space underneath the default folder. Just left-click your mouse 1 time, and then we're going to hit Control V as in Victor on the computer to paste the profile folders into this folder. So we'll go ahead and hit Control V, and it will paste those 4 folders in. Now, you're most likely going to get a window that pops up before it drops those 4 folders in there. You're going to get a window that pops up saying that you requires administrative permission. Check off the box that says do this for all related items, and then click Continue, giving it permission, and it will paste those 4 profiles in the profile folder. So at the end of it all, you should have a default folder with the 4 profile folders that we just pasted in there. Okay, good. All right, let's go ahead and go back to our flash drive, and let's navigate back to our Planet-CNC software installation folders. Okay, final step for as far as installing the software, we want to go ahead and open up the last folder in our Planet-CNC TNG V2 software files folder. We want to open up our last folder, which is the desktop shortcuts. I want to go ahead and copy the related desktop shortcuts to your machine. So there is 4th axis mode if you have the rotary axis. Mill mode is your standard mode. Everyone will use mill mode. That's when you're carving on the table. Pick laser mode if you have the 6 or 15 watt digital laser. And probe mode if you have the 3D digitizing probe. You only need to copy the profile shortcut for the features that you have. So if you have a 4-axis machine, then you're going to be copying mill mode and 4th axis mode shortcuts. If you have a 4-axis machine and a digital laser, you're going to copy the mill mode, the 4th axis mode, and the pick laser mode shortcuts, so on and so forth. If you don't have any of the other accessories like a 4th axis or a laser or a probe, then you're just going to need the mill mode. So select the appropriate folders. Now, my machine is a 4-axis, so I'm going to select the 4-axis. I'm going to hold down the control key. I'm also going to select mill mode, and I'm going to hit Control C to copy those 2 selected items. Once you're inside of your desktop folder, go ahead and you can either right click and left click on paste, or the easy way is to Control V to paste those 2 shortcuts on your desktop. Now, once you've pasted the shortcuts in your desktop folder, you're going to actually return to your desktop where all of your icons and everything are for your computer. Now, I have an abundance of icons on my desktop. You might have only a few, you might have a bunch as well. But we're going to locate the 2 shortcuts that we've just pasted onto the desktop, because for you, you're going to need to unlock them. Because the shortcuts were created on a different computer, your software is going to lock those shortcuts from being used until we unlock them. So you're going to locate the shortcut, you're going to right click on it, you're going to go down and left click on Properties, and when the Properties window opens up, you're going to left click on the General tab. Now, at the bottom of the General tab, here in this empty space that I'm pointing to right here, on your computer, you may have a statement that says the shortcut was created on a different computer, it's been blocked. There is going to be a checkbox next to the word unblock. You're going to need to check that box. You're then going to click apply and then OK. Now, I don't have a statement like that on mine because I created the shortcuts on my computer. I created the shortcuts for all of the systems and everything. So you're going to have to unlock the shortcut so it can be used. You will need to uncheck, or you'll need to check unblock, apply, and OK. And then you'll need to do that for your 2nd or 3rd shortcut, however many shortcuts of the 4 that you ended up copying and pasting on your desktop. You'll need to unlock each one of those. Okay, wonderful. Now, once you've unlocked the shortcuts on the folder, that completes as far as the main part of the installation. That's all that we needed to do. What we need to do now is we actually need to activate the software and install the license key code into the software so that we can utilize it. So when you're opening your Planet-CNC TNG controller software, you're only going to open it through the shortcuts you created. If you're just carving on your table, you're going to open it up in mill mode. If you're running the rotary axis, the 4th axis, you're going to open up 4th axis mode. If you're operating the laser, the digital laser to do laser engraving, you're going to open pick laser mode. And if you're probing, 3D digitized probing, then you're going to open up probe mode. You want to open up the appropriate shortcut for the operation that you're performing at that time. In this case, 99.9% of the time, everybody is doing mill mode because they are carving, signs and things or whatever the case may be on their table, right? In mill mode. That's your default, that's your standard. But you will need to repeat these following steps from this point on. You will need to repeat these following steps for each of the shortcuts that you ended up copying and pasting on your desktop. And in my case, I have 4th axis mode and I have mill mode, the 2 shortcuts that I need to do. So you're going to double click on the shortcut to open the program. Okay, once you open up your shortcut, it's going to ask you for permission to make changes. You're going to always answer yes to that question, and then it's going to open up the program as you see here on the screen. Now, a couple of visual identifiers and things to know that we're in the right operation, whether it's mill mode, 4th axis mode, pick laser mode, or probe mode, is in the top right corner. It will say DWC, your machine number, V2, mill mode, pick laser mode, 4th axis mode, probe mode, depending on which shortcut and which operation you opened at the time. Now, it should never say Planet-CNC. If it just says Planet-CNC in the top right corner here, then it did not open the correct settings file. You need to go back to the beginning of this video, or look at the PDF on how to install your software and run through it again because you missed something. Okay, so in this case, we're in mill mode. That's the shortcut that I opened. And down at the bottom right-hand corner, the very bottom corner, is a little green light. In this case, the light has a little S in it, stating or meaning that we're in simulation mode. By default, we're in simulation mode until we activate it to our control board and put in the license code. What we're looking for is a solid green light with no letter S for simulation mode, or X, meaning our license is missing. We want a nice solid green light. That's our goal, and that's what we should have by the end of this. Now, also, if you have a red light for some reason, that means that your firmware is out of date. And in order to get the firmware into date, you're going to go to the machine menu, controller, and you're going to click on firmware update. When you click on firmware update, you're going to click OK, and it will update the firmware and get the most current firmware on your board so it communicates properly. Now, we're going to go to the File menu and Settings. And sometimes that settings window might be like off into the side of your screen, and you only see kind of this list over here. Well, we need to drag that screen all the way to the center so we can see what's going on. So grab your mouse and put your mouse at the top of the window, the little settings window. Hold down the left mouse button and drag the window out so it's in the middle of the screen here for you, okay? Now, in the settings window, we have a menu down the left-hand side, and when we click on the menu options, those options open on the right-hand side of the window, depending on what the options are. We want to click on Connection. Now, in the connection, it shows you the type of connection you have, and the primary controller is currently set to simulation. That's the default. You will see the word simulation a second time from the primary controller box. You'll see it down below, and below that, your board number will be listed below there when you're connected to your board. It'll say USB, Planet-CNC, and then your MK3 board with a number. The current window that I'm in right now, I don't have a board connected. I'm not connected to a control board as I walk you through this, so there's no board listed there for me. But to show you what that would look like. All right, so if we take a look at the graphic in the PDF instructions, you will see that there is a board listed here, and again, it'll say USB, Planet-CNC, MK3, and whatever serial number it is. What you need to do is you take your mouse and you're going to double click on that board number. So double click on that board number, and it's going to put that board number up in the primary controller box, and it's going to replace the word simulation. That's what we want to do. So double click on your board number and pop it up into, it'll automatically go up into the primary controller box, replacing the word simulation, and then that completes that step. Now, very important, there's one more step in the settings for those of you that have a mini carver, DWC 1824 mini carver. You folks that have a mini carver, you need to scroll down that left-hand side list all the way to the very bottom, and you need to click on motor drivers. Now, in motor drivers, your current box is going to be set to 0.5. You're going to need to click on that current box and change it to 2.5. So mini carver users only, 1824 mini carver users only, you need to change the motor drivers current to 2.5. Once you do that, you're going to click OK to close out of the settings. Okay, and that's for everybody. Once you're done double clicking on your control board and putting it in the primary controller, if you have a 2440, 4848, or 5100, once you do that, click OK to close out of your settings. You're done with the setup. If you have a mini carver, you need to scroll down to motor drivers and change your current box to 2.5, and then you'll click OK once you've done that to close out of your settings. Okay. All right. Now, the last and final step at this point is putting in the license code. So back at our flash drive, in our root directory of the flash drive, you're going to have a text document that says license and your number. You're going to double click on that and you're going to open up a notepad. In that notepad, you're going to have this license key code. You want to select the entire key code and copy it. So we're going to go Control A for select all and Control C to copy. Control C to copy. Those are the keyboard shortcuts. Control A to select all and Control C to copy. Once you do that, you're going to exit out of that notepad and you're going to go back into your software, your Planet-CNC software, in this case mill mode. And we're going to go to the help menu, license management, licenses, and we're going to, in the license window, we're going to click on import, and it's automatically going to paste what we've copied in the import window. If it did not automatically paste, which it should, but if it didn't, click paste from clipboard and it'll paste that license code in there, and then you're going to click OK. Once you click OK, it will show your license in the license list, and you're going to simply close that window and hit close. Now, I don't have anything in my license list because this is just a demo and a setup, but you will. Now, once you do that, now you're going to have a solid green light at the bottom right-hand corner, meaning that you're communicating with your CNC machine and the license is good and valid. Everything is good to go. So at that point, the software is all set up. You need to repeat the steps for each of your shortcuts. So in my case, I have to do this one more time for 4th axis mode. So I'm going to exit completely out of mill mode, close out completely. I'm going to go back into 4th axis mode. Click yes. You're going to use the shortcut that's on your desktop to open up 4th axis mode. You're going to go to the file menu, you're going to go to settings, and you're going to click on connection. And once again, just like we did in mill mode, your board is going to be listed under the word simulation. You're going to double click on your board. So again, it'll look like this. You're going to double click on your board to put it up in the primary controller box. And then you're going to click OK to close the settings window. You're going to go to the help menu, license management license. You're going to click on import. It's automatically going to paste that license code in there. You're going to click OK. And then it'll show the license code in the license box. You're going to click close to close out of that window. And you'll have a green light for that shortcut and you're good to go. If you have pick laser mode shortcut and probe mode as well, you will repeat the steps for those two also, right? You only need to do it for the shortcuts that you have, but do it for all of them that you are using. Don't do it just for one and say, oh, I'm not ready to use the 4th axis or the laser yet, so I'll do those later. Do them all right now. It takes just a few seconds. Do them all right now while you're doing your setup, and that way you'll be good to go and starting off on the right foot. As far as the installation and setup of the Planet-CNC TNG motion controller software, that completes everything that we need to do. So from here, all you need to do is you can power on your machine at this point, and you can move around with your pendant to get some movement going and everything. And understand this, the machine alone, if you did not have your computer connected with the USB cable or the software open, the machine will not move. It will not raise up. It won't go left or right. The pendant won't work. Nothing. You need to be connected to your CNC machine with your computer. The software needs to be open on the computer, and you need to have a green light indicating that the software is communicating with that control board. At that point in time, you can power up your machine and everything will move around as it needs to. Okay? Now, This completes how to install your Planet-CNC TNG software files. Hopefully you found this useful and very easy to do to get you going. And if you are an existing customer and you're watching this video because you've just updated your software and you're trying to go through the folders and get everything installed because you updated your software, this video isn't for you. You're going to need the video on how to update your Planet-CNC TNG software for Digital Wood Carver because there's some additional steps that you need to do before installing the software to make sure that the settings and profiles are compatible with what you currently are working with. So this video is for new installations only from your flash drive, and hopefully you found it helpful. And until next time, I'm Laney Shaughnessy. We'll see you soon.